Internet! Welcome to 2.5 Brains. This is our weekly discussion of this latest episode of Survivor Season 39, Episode 5. Be sure to subscribe so you get all the updates, don't miss anything. Welcome to all the new subscribers we got over the past week. Make sure you subscribe, like I said, share the post, tell your friends. You can email the show directly at pavmentproductions@gmail.com. You can tweet me at directly YoGrabAGabba, like our Facebook page, facebook.com/pavmentproductions. And be sure to follow us all season long so you get all the updates and plenty more to come as we go along here. So as per usual, we had another week where didn't get the video out when we wanted to. Just another week of under the weather, here and there, and wasn't really going to be able to do it. We weren't really going to be able to do it, especially without really being able to talk too much. So sorry about that. We're getting out here. We're going to try our best to get it out on Wednesdays or Thursdays at the latest. So let's go ahead and bring in our co-host Bailey. Hi. And Jessica Tarasa. Jessica, welcome to the show. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, Bailey.
Hi, Bae. Oh, where's the wolf?
So, Jessica, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Better.
Better? Good. Glad to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
We're both feeling better. I think we're both recovering. Hopefully we stay that way. Hopefully getting soaked in a football game the weekend doesn't make us sick again. Either way. Hopefully it's worth it. So, Jessica, how can you find you on Twitter?
JustT820.
JustT820, okay. So, before we get to the show, I want to take a little bit of a moment here on a serious note. We have a lot of fun on this show. We like to joke around, have some fun, but there's some times where you have to have more seriousness. And I do want to send on our condolences to a member of the Survivor family, a member of the Survivor community who we all really appreciate. And that would be Miss Carolyn Rivera, Mama C, the passing of her husband this week. Very sad to hear that, and our thoughts and prayers are definitely with you and your family, Carolyn, and Godspeed for sure. So on that note, it's one of those things where we talk about the show and have a lot of fun, and sometimes real life hits you in the face. So just want to send along our condolences and our prayers and wishes. So on that note, let's try to go on with the show, and let's have some fun here as we talk all about the latest episode of Survivor. It is the 5th episode, and there was a swap this week, Jessica.
There was.
There was a swap this week. And we're going to talk a little bit about what happened and who went home and all that, but let's start like we always do with the 3 moments that mattered. 3 most important moments of the episode. Starting off with moment number 1, Jessica, what is that?
Detective Dean Kowalski.
Detective Dean Kowalski. Yeah, tell me about that.
He wanted to find out on the tribe who decided that Chelsea was the one to go. So he was basically had his 3 picks of who he thought it was and was asking them who, and never really got a direct answer from anybody, but who would want to own up to it to him face.
Right. So it was definitely Aaron and Missy who took her out. I mean, those were who called the shots. Yeah. But it's never good to admit anything, really. I mean, and so him trying to interrogate them, find information. To me, I mean, I don't know if that's the right play. Do you think that's the right play for him to kind of go out to ask people what happened?
No. Supposed to just accept it and move on. Yeah,
I think so too. I mean, be thankful it wasn't you. I mean, Missy, named the episode by saying don't bite the hand that feeds you. Mm-hmm. And she kept him alive. She turned on one of her own to keep Dean in the game. She could have voted out Dean.
Yeah, nobody wanted to though, so that's why Chelsea went.
So that's the thing. And if he doesn't like that Chelsea's gone, well, he made her a target by being too close to her. So. Mm-hmm. That's what it was, and that's a problem. So it was Dean's fault partially, and so when he's looking trying to find out who put the hit on her, you should probably look in the mirror a little bit because it definitely was related to him a little bit. Yeah. But they went from there, and he was all not trusting anybody, not really sure who he could work with, to the next swap that happened, and that was an interesting turn of events as well.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of lead into that a little bit here. What was the next moment that mattered?
Swap numbers.
Yeah. So. The swap was interesting this week. Sometimes, the swaps are really chaotic. I mean, I remember one of the most famous swaps I remember was Survivor Cagayan, when the Cagayan Braun tribe had lost somebody and then somebody else quit, so they were down, but they hadn't lost anybody before that, and then they swapped and 3 were on the one tribe, and they had it was three and one, and then it was the only one member from their tribe left was Sarah, and everybody else got swapped around, so they actually had a disadvantage in that one, and also I believe it was One World, where they had all the called the pretty people in the one tribe and the freaks in the other tribe. It was the people who just were never going to win challengers. They were going to be decimated. And One World kind of had that, or World Apart kind of had that too. It was just very lopsided tribe dynamics. This was an interesting one though. I mean, 4 original members of one tribe, 4 original members of the other tribe on Vokai, and then Lyro had 5 Vokai, 3 Lyro.
Yep.
And so the numbers are kind of interesting. It's always interesting to see when a swap. It's basically, I mean, even if the numbers stay the same, even if the numbers don't change at all, it's like, okay, well, who's going to end up where? And are they going to stay strong with the original tribe? Are they going to switch to a new tribe? You know, what's the dynamic going to be? That's always an interesting thing. So what do you think about that and then the numbers, how they broke down?
You know, all the strong people are in one tribe, so it's going to be hard to even find someone to eliminate if they go to tribal. And, I mean, the other tribe, I guess you had an obvious one, but that's not exactly who went out tonight. So it was an interesting split.
It was an interesting split. And the question is, I mean, if that tribe does even lose immunity, which they may not because they definitely have the strongest tribe by a lot. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, what is that? I mean, who even does they said who even does go home? Do they have a swap? I mean, I could honestly see it. And if I'm Vokai or whatever, if I'm the members of that tribe. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be afraid of new Lyro. I wouldn't be afraid of just, hey, let's lose all the challenges. That's the way.
Right.
I mean, yeah, vote out Tom. Okay, great. You vote out, you know, maybe somebody's not great in challenges, mm-hmm. but who cares? Mm-hmm. I mean, vote out Dean. Who cares? Just vote out all members of Lyro, right. Of the original Lyro. And then you go to merge. You're probably going to swap in 2 more votes, or merge in 2 more votes, probably down at 13.
Yeah.
So what's the difference? Might as well get rid of, you know, anybody who's not directly helping you.
Right. Sure.
So we'll see how that turns out. But again, it could be immunities, could change things, or idols, and all kinds of stuff like that. But if I'm a member of Vokai, of original Vokai, I'm on the Lyro tribe, I want to lose every challenge the rest of the way because I want to go to the swap, go to the merge. You know, at basically just my 5 again, and then the original 4, and then 4 and 4, and see where it breaks down. But that's what I would do. Mm-hmm. What's next?
Idolists.
Idolists. What does that refer to?
There was no Island of the Idols this episode.
No.
No Robert Sandra.
No, I mean, they were in the episode, they watched Tribal Council, they talked about it a little bit, whispered back and forth, but...
Yeah.
But, no Island of the Idols used at all this week. I would have loved to see them incorporated, though. Even with a swap, even with the reward challenge, and you know, meet your new tribes. I mean, I don't like that. You know, that's like the Ghost. That's like when Ghost Island wasn't used sometimes in Ghost Island.
Right. It's
the name of the season. And
it should be on every episode.
Right, it's a key element of the season.
Mm-hmm.
You only have so many times somebody gets a chance to go there. Mm-hmm. So why would you use it? I mean, there's 2 things they could have done, in my opinion. They could have done where the tribe who wins immunity picks somebody from the losing tribe to go, and that person gets immunity, and they'd like to learn or something or whatever.
Right. Or
the team who wins immunity sends somebody.
Yeah.
I think either one would have been fine,
mm-hmm.
but you know, what do I know? That's just my take. That's what I would have done. Again, they didn't use it, and that's fine. I still would use it. I think it would have been I think it was a bit of a waste not to use it.
Yeah.
Anything else to add?
No, I agree. I was not. I was disappointed not to see them on the episode, not to have them incorporated. See something else go on there.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously with the tribe swap, you gotta show the new tribe dynamics and stuff like that, so you got a lot to show. So Island Idols gets pushed to the side. I understand that, but it's the season. Figure a way to get it in there somehow.
Right.
Even if you send somebody to Island Idols and then they come back in time, they really don't know the tribe dynamics now and who's voting where. But they basically show up at tribal council. That'd be really interesting. Mm-hmm. It would be quite the monkey wrench to throw there. And maybe they have an idol they have to play this one, so they're not getting voted out. Now they don't know who to vote for,
right?
Or whatever. You know, they think, Krishma's bad challenger, so they throw one vote on Krishma, and that screws up everything else.
Right.
Who knows?
Yeah.
So, let's go ahead then and shift to the next section about who did not survive. And for this, I'd like to start with a little "Oh Canada." Ah! Sorry. I had to. I'm sorry. So Tom lost. Tom was voted out of this episode. And that also means, if you're following at home, the first member of Who Wants Crabs was eliminated.
Yes.
Jessica lost the first member of her tribe.
It took 5 episodes for me to
5 episodes.
Most of my other players are strong. Most.
So, and that's kind of what we reset the level. So obviously, so far, and if you look at the leaderboard, there's one person left who's not on that tribe. That's Janet.
Mm-hmm.
And then we lost 2 members of the Stinky Fish, 1 member of Rotten Coconuts, and 1 member of Who Wants Crabs. So we reset it right now. It's currently 5 for Who Wants Crabs, 5 for Rotten Coconuts, and 4 for the Stinky Fish left in the game. We'll talk more about that a little bit later on. But what happened to Tom? Why did Tom lose this week?
He didn't really do anything wrong. They just realized that he's older. Eventually, he's going to start losing his stamina. He's strong, but it's only going to go so far. So it wasn't really a huge thing that he did.
Right. I think there's a couple parts of it. I mean, I think Janet liked him. I think my only thing with Janet is I'm not sure if she liked him just as a person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I can't tell if Janet was vote him out begrudgingly or was leading the charge to vote him out. You know what I mean? I feel like she saw both sides of it and was either we gotta keep him and they said no, he's gotta go, then she just went along with it.
Right.
Or if she's like, you know what, I like him as a person, but here's why he has to go.
Yeah.
I really don't know. But I do think I do know Janet played a role. I just don't know which role she played.
Right.
And it was great when he went out. He's ready. Oh, sorry guys. Thank you for playing. Sorry. Canadian. First ever Canadian on Survivor. First one voted out. And
a former NHL player. That's pretty.
He was cool. I like him a lot. He's a cool dude. I'd love to have a pint with him in Molson, yeah, or whatever, Labatt. With him, I think he's a cool dude, and I'd love to chat with him, ask him about Survivor. And Tom, if you're watching, come on the show. It was a cool time. I think it'd be a cool interview. Talk about hockey and Survivor. Mm-hmm. 2 things we both appreciate. So, or at least I appreciate.
One more than the other.
But my thing with Tom, I think there's two main things. One's the swap. I mean, obviously, if he doesn't swap that tribe, I think he's done. But I think he'd been okay if he doesn't swap that tribe. I think he would have lasted longer if he didn't swap that tribe. But I think the problem was too. I think he was on the getting on the outs of that tribe too, just because he was down numbers. He wasn't out in a strong alliance. He was, he was a straight shooter. He just kind of wanted to play the game, and he was a typical athlete on the show. A lot of times athletes just want to be nice guys. They just want to play the game straightforward. Don't lie. Don't cheat. Don't steal. Just play a nice down the middle game. Be friendly. Win challenges, stuff like that. And I think he's a nice guy. I think he wanted to kind of do that. He's a straight shooter, and I think that was a detriment to him. Mm-hmm. I really do. You can't be not that you can't be nice on Survivor because you have to have social game. But I think Tom was just playing a very simple game, very old school game. Mm-hmm. And with the way things are going, I think everything's moving a mile a minute. I think he just got left off the bat, left off the roster in this case. Mm-hmm. I think he played a good game. I think he was a nice guy, likable, all those things. But he wasn't the most physically fit. Like I said, he's an older guy. He wasn't in really anybody's number 1 or number 2. He wasn't. I think Elizabeth will be sad to see him go.
She's going to be disappointed to see that he's gone.
But it's one of those things where he wasn't really her number 1 either, though.
Right.
I mean, they were close, but
he was a dad figure.
Yeah, and so like I said, there's a lot of things to like about him. He played a solid game. Would I expect him to win the game? No, I don't think he really did either. He was on your team.
Yeah.
You liked him. He was a likable guy, cool to see former NHLer on there.
Picked him purely because he was former NHL.
And all those things. Yeah, and so he's said. I just think he was partially victims of the swap, but just if you have to pick between Dean, who's going to help you win challenges, Karishma, who's going to be loyal for the most part, and Tom, who's kind of a little bit of both. well, you have the one and the other. You don't need the one who's the mix.
Right.
So I think that's a big reason why Tom got knocked out this week. He wasn't. They weren't gonna annoy. It wasn't gonna annoy anybody by getting rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Dean was left out of the vote again.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something he doesn't like. But at the same time, it's not like he's doing anything to. He's not gonna be too upset about it. It's not like he, lost his number one ally or anything.
Right.
So, what's next?
Bottom three.
Let's talk about the top three and bottom three. We'll start with the bottom three as we like to do. And who is on the bottom this week?
Mr. Dean.
Yeah, Dean Kowalski on the bottom this week. Why Dean?
I mean, I guess a lot of it. Yeah, I know he sucks. A lot of it has to do, I would say, with Tribal. When Elaine called him out saying that he didn't make a connection with her or anything, like that just kind of put more of a target on himself, and I don't know. I don't really think you can connect with people that well.
Yeah, I mean, Janet definitely called him out. I think I think with Dean, I feel like he just says things a lot without really thinking. He just kind of goes with the flow and doesn't really have a lot of stake in the game. I think he just kind of is holding out at this point, and how many votes in a row are you going to be not out of loop? How many votes in a row are you going to be out of loop until you're gone?
Right.
The only good thing for him is he has that connection with Kelly. They know the same person,
right.
Which I guess it's the big world, but also a small world.
Yeah.
And so that's interesting. But I don't know. I feel like he's just kind of barely hanging out. I feel like he's been out of a lot of the votes, and I think he's kind of in the spot now where he's gotta just kind of put his head down, just be a yes man the rest of the way until the swap or until the merge, and then see what happens.
Right. Yeah.
The swap was interesting though too, because I said they didn't go. I thought they'd definitely go to 3 tribes. They did not.
Yeah.
So maybe this will be the first season in 10 that they don't have 3 tribes, which would be interesting.
Yeah.
Who's next in the bottom 3? Let's not say more about Dean.
Krishma.
Okay. So yeah, I mean Dean. I said Dean was in the bottom of the tribe. He barely survived the vote. Second week in a row. Krishma is in a similar spot, I think.
She is. She already told them she's willing to work with them, and she doesn't care about her old tribe or anything, but she also just doesn't have a lot to contribute to anybody, honestly. Any tribe. She's not physical. She hasn't been good at puzzles, and they say she doesn't really contribute at camp, so she doesn't really have a good chance of anything right now.
So, and the way I'm seeing it, for Karishma, if she can really survive one more vote,
she'll make it to the merge.
She'll be good for a while.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, yes, she's always that person that can be an easy vote. You can just throw her, throw her name out there if you want to get rid of somebody and advance the game. But I think,
The dog's biting me. You guys can't see it, but he's having a good old time with my hand right now.
So, I mean, I feel she'd be one that you could easily put out, but you get to the merge, you're trying to get rid of the strength and the strong people and people who are going to win the game, and Krishna's kind of like not one of those people right now.
Ow. Dude.
Relax, Bailey.
You have adult teeth now.
Alright. So, I don't know. I mean, I think I did like Krishna opening up to her tribe. I think that definitely helped her.
Yeah, that was nice to hear something about her period.
Past, her history, yeah. And she was, something that isn't just her whining, it was nice.
Yeah.
But again, I think she's definitely, firmly on the bottom, and if they need to go to a couple more tribals, she can definitely be the one to vote out. But again, if I'm that tribe, if I'm, Lyro, I'm not going to vote out as Dean, not Karishma, because Dean is more of a threat. You want to get him out before the merge. Like Kelly said, we really don't want to go to the merge with this guy, because he's likable. He's getting people to want to vote with him. He can win challenges.
Good. Yeah, he's athletic.
And he's not. I think he's overrated at the game, honestly.
Yeah.
But he's definitely more of a threat than Krishna is. Krishna's not a threat to anybody at this point. And she could definitely be one of those people who just kind of rides along, jumping from alliance to alliance. Wants to pick her up, picks her up, and then she's with them. Right. I don't think she really has any major loyalties. But so I think she could definitely. I think if she gets through this vote, unless they go to another tribal and then whatever, I think she could be fine for a while, because why vote her out at this point?
Yeah.
Why take her out? What's the point of that? Just let her be there, let her exist.
Right. Yeah. It's true.
Anything else about Krishma? Anything else about your winner pick?
She's not going to win anymore. I think another person on my team has a better chance of winning now.
I think there's a couple of people on our team that have a better chance of winning.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Right now, Krishma, I don't think she's drawing dead just yet. I think she could make the merge, and then anything can happen. Get her through one more vote, and then we'll see. But right now, I think she's been on the outs, and if she can just get herself again.
She's not giving anybody a reason to keep her at this point.
Right. I mean, she's opening up to them and everything else, but that's not enough. You gotta give them a reason to keep growing. You gotta strategize. You have these conversations, stuff like that. And I think she can. I think she can make the merge, but it's gonna be tough for her to win going forward. I mean, a lot of people who aren't good at the game when they make the merge. So.
It's true. Right.
Anyways, what's next?
Our number 1, Elaine.
Elaine, yeah.
Our number 3, Elaine. I don't know.
Number 3, yeah. So why is Elaine here in the bottom 3?
She's got a target now that she's, like I said, she's staying strong with her original tribe, but everybody knows how social she is, so it's, again, going to be a target for her if they ever go to tribal.
So,
once the merge happens, or when they merge together, but...
It's tough. She's in an interesting spot. I can see her going really, really far. I can see me out next week. I mean, if that tribe does somehow lose immunity, they were talking about, Lyro's dead, and she's like, "Hey, pro Lyro, let's stay together. Let's stay tight. Let's not go to rocks. Let's go to rocks together. Let's fight for this." And I see Aaron and Misty kind of be like, "No, let's not do that. Let's stick together with us. We'll flip on our old tribe and." That means it's going to be if they flip, it's either Jason or Elaine.
Yeah.
And I think Jason is not seen as much of a threat as Elaine because everybody wants to work with Elaine. Elaine's fun, social, outgoing. Maybe decent in these challenges. I really can't really tell, but I think if it comes down to it and they lose immunity, I don't think any of the old Vokai are voting for each other.
Right.
And I think Aaron and Misty flip, and that leaves just Jason and Elaine. And if you ask me right now, who should they vote out? Elaine, because Elaine's a better threat. Elaine's social. They were talking about again this week. Oh wow, Elaine's doing what she does. She's social. She's outgoing. She hangs out with everybody. Everybody likes her. She's entertaining. All those things. So that's perfect recipe to be voted out next. Especially if they go to tribal and have to vote out somebody. When you're gonna vote out somebody in a 4-4 tie. The number one person to vote out is the one who's trying to keep that other side together.
True.
Take out the head of the snake on that tribe, and also the one who's a threat and social and outgoing and all those things.
Right.
That's the one you take out.
Right.
So I don't know if they're gonna lose immunity. They might not, and if they do, who knows? Maybe they stay together. Maybe something else change. Things change every episode.
Right.
Somebody's on the top this week could be on the bottom or gone next week. I thought Chelsea was in a real good spot 2 weeks ago. Now she's gone.
She was 2 weeks ago.
Right. Well, I mean, 3 weeks or whatever it is. But,
yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. So I feel like things could change just every week. Who knows? I thought the girls were on both tribes were going to run the game. It hasn't really been the case. So I don't know. Yeah, I really couldn't say. But I think if you're going to ask me right now, if that tribe loses immunity, who's gone? Elaine, unfortunately. And I think that's the right vote as well. I think that's the right decision as well.
Yeah, I could see it.
Maybe they will never lose, but if they do, I think it's like. So what's next? What's next? We're gonna talk about the top 3 next, right?
Top 3.
Top 3. Number 3 is
Nora.
Interesting spot. Interesting to find herself here.
For the first time ever.
For the first time, she's not in the bottom 3. She's actually in the top 3. And I think the reason I put her in the top 3 this week is because she's not in the bottom 3 this week.
Because she pulled Krishna with the rope.
She did great in that reward challenge. She definitely did. She pulled Krishna. She, kind of got Krishna through that challenge. And then she was acting crazy at tribal council, which is, whatever. Par for the course, I guess. But
normal her.
Yeah, normal her. But I also think that she was, and even with a swap, I still could have seen her getting voted out. They still had, it was 5-3. They could have voted out. Still been 4-3. Who cares? Yeah. But I think the swap was exactly what she needed, and a favorable swap as well, where now she's in the majority. So, she could be, again, they could be like, well, who cares? We don't need her. We can vote on next week.
Right.
I can certainly see that. But she seemed like she was at least, She was
Had a grip for a little while.
yeah, and she was down on the beach. She was talking, and that's for her. That's like fireworks and streamers for her, not being psychotic. But one thing I'll say too, she was down on the beach talking with Elaine, or not, I'm sorry, I said
Kelly.
Janet and Kelly. Remember? Mm-hmm. She went down on the beach. She was talking to them like, "Hey, I got this one. I got that one. I got this one." And she's like, "I got Dean. I got Tom. Okay, cool." And she was actually in kind of part of the brain trust, started talking about who should go.
She was.
And she did well in the challenge, and it was motivational. And I think and Sandra loves her, so that's good. I think Sandra loves her because she's entertaining, not because she's good at the game. And Sandra's like, "Well, I'm gonna say Queen. She's not taking my title because I don't think Nora's winning." But it was a good week for her. You can't deny she had a better week than she normally has.
She did. Wasn't mentioned once.
Right, and she was, she wasn't ridiculous. She wasn't bad. She was kind of she was a normal person for a while, and Nora being a normal person is worthy of a party. So that's why she's in the top 3.
Yeah.
What's next? Tommy, number 2. Yes.
Forging alliances all over.
And that's why, right? I mean, he's got the Vokai stuff to rely on. Mm-hmm. He could be Vokai strong. He could go, hey, sorry guys, it's Vokai, nothing personal, blah, blah, and they'll be able to be mad at him for it. But also, he's starting to form those bonds with Aaron and, people like that, so he can start to, maybe bridge that gap a little bit. Maybe he can have, a foot in each side. Whoever takes control at the merge, he's with.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I remember Nick on his season, 37, when Nick won the game, he was David strong the whole way, but when the Davis had to fall apart, he could go to his Jabeni friends with Angelina and Mike, and they would keep him safe through that stuff.
Yeah.
So when the implosion starts happening, the civil war starts happening, he can join either side, whichever side wins, he can join. And I feel like that's kind of where Tommy is right now.
Yeah.
He's got enough alliances, he's got enough people who owe him or he owes or whatever however you want to see it. However you want to say it, he's got enough on both sides where he could work with whoever comes out on top, and go from there.
Yeah.
I think he can really run the game from for that perspective. I think he's kind of the one that everyone wants to go to, and he can kind of call the shots. And that's definitely a good spot to be in right now. Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts on Tommy?
No, he definitely had a better week, more controlling of the game right now, getting himself out there.
Yeah, it's cool. And, that relationship with both Aaron and that kind of thing. I think it was a good idea for him to do it. So many times it's like stay strong in your alliance, don't sabotage your alliance, blah blah blah. And that's kind of Boston Rob's mentality. Form an alliance, stick with it, and run at the end of the game. Mm-hmm. But you also the game is not Boston Rob last played season 22. A lot has changed since then. Mm-hmm. The game's a lot faster, a lot more moves, and alliances don't stick together anymore. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's just too many swaps, too many advantages, too many things that happen that one alliance can't just run the game to the end. I mean, it's very rare. So you have to have those relationships with other sides, so that way whoever comes out on top, you're the one you're not the one who's going out of the game because somebody on either side wants to protect you.
Right.
And that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. Who was the player of the week this week, Jessica?
Miss Kelly.
Kelly again, yeah. So Kelly had another good week this week.
She did.
Yes, again, Sandra likes her. Sandra just called her girl Kelly. And I think Kelly is interesting, right? Because we both talk about how my team is doing pretty well. Your team's doing pretty well, but our 2 winner picks aren't doing great. Whereas B-Back's team not doing great,
no,
but his winner picks are the strongest of the 3.
Yes.
So if you ask me whose winner pick has the best chance of winning, B-Back's. Whose team has the best chance of winning, yours, and then mine, then his. So it's kind of interesting. If Kelly gets knocked out, he's toast. But I think she's in great shape. I mean, she's got good relationships on both sides. She's strategic. She's social. She's good at she's good at challenges. I mean, she doesn't hold anybody back or do anything wrong in the challenges. So I think she's really doing really well right now.
Yeah.
And there's if I had put 3 people on my list of who are the best chance to win, Kelly would be on that list for sure. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know if you have 3 predictions right now or anybody you think, I'm just kind of putting you on the spot here, who you think has the best shot of winning?
Elizabeth.
Same. Mine right now is Elizabeth,
Missy,
Missy,
Kelly,
and Kelly. for sure.
Yeah.
So I think one of those three has. If you said who's the best at winning, one of those three right now.
So one from each team.
Right, and and so Kelly I think is doing things really well right now. She went to another tribal this week. She hasn't gone a couple votes, but she went here. She still has. Oh, she still has data. I think did it have 3 weeks to use it. I think.
I don't remember.
There's so many different stipulations. They have the lower third one immunity idol. I don't know. I don't know if this was last week she could use it. I figure if it was last week she could use it, they would have said that.
Probably.
But I don't know. And again, and Nora lost her vote too, for this tribal. So now that's out of the way. That's done. She's back to normal. Normal Nora.
No.
Probably not for long, but for this week. So that's. I think Kelly is the one who. I think Kelly's the one to watch this week. I think she had the best week. It was definitely. I think if you look at it too, right. Who has the most stake in the game? The one usually who has the most stake in the game is the one who's number one, or not even number one ally, but if they're pulling people from other sides, the one who doesn't go out of the game, or the one who goes out of the game is not their person, right? And I think right now Tom was close with a couple people, Janet maybe, and he goes home. Dean is close to Kelly, he does not go home. So I think that shows a lot more of what Kelly's doing.
Close to Kelly, but not snuggling Kelly. That's
the thing too. And she said, I'll be the next Chelsea. We have to keep it. We have to keep it down low.
She said, well, they cuddled and everything, so obviously.
Right. And in this case, they won't be doing that, and that's smart. Honestly, sleep in the shelter with your enemies, so that way they don't know who who you're working with. That's important.
Just because you're in alliance with a girl doesn't mean you gotta cuddle with them.
Right. And Ross Rob always said that too. Rob said when people are sleeping in the shelter, they often don't sleep with people they don't like.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind, because when everybody going to bed, who's sleeping with who? That's who's lying. You might not think they're lying, but they're cuddling together, they're probably lying.
Yeah.
They're sleeping next to each other, they're probably lying.
Right.
Because if you're trying to vote somebody out, you're probably sleep next to them.
Right.
So, and that's one thing they have to make sure that they do. And I think Kelly's smart enough to know that about the game. To not let that happen. Let that mistake happen.
Unless they're a villain and like to make people think they're comfortable until they stab them in the back.
And that's great. And that's a good strategy. But for Kelly, I think she's smart enough to know that not to let that happen, not to let herself get picked off like that.
Yeah.
So I think she's got plenty of agency in the game. I think she's in a good spot, and just don't hear anybody coming for her. I don't see it happening anytime soon.
Yeah, I would think.
So, any other thoughts before we wrap up?
That's it.
Awesome, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching and subscribing. Be sure to subscribe. Just let your friends know. We're gonna try to come back again with more hot takes. This episode itself wasn't amazing. It wasn't fantastic, but it was kind of straightforward. Kind of somebody who you're not surprised to see go out early, I guess. But overall, it's been a fun season so far. Hopefully it continues, and hopefully they really ramp up the drama in the next couple weeks. Other than that, thank you, Jessica.
You're welcome.
How can people find you on Twitter?
JustT820.
You tweet me at YoGrabAGabba. And make sure email the show at paperproductions@gmail.com. You can like Facebook page, facebook.com/paperproductions. And again, like, subscribe, comment, share the post, tell all your friends, and let's continue to grow the subscribers. We had a really good week of growing subscribers this week. Let's keep it going. Thank you, my cousin John, for helping with that as well. And until next time, I know one thing. Bailey will be back next week.
Yeah, behind us on the couch.
Yep.
Hey.
Right, Bailey? Yes. And for right now, the three of us, 2.5 brains between the three of us, you can guess who has which ones. Assign points. We've got nothing else for you because the tribe has spoken.